being a wife, but let me tell you something. Being a wife is making sure you have the soap powder. Being the wife is making sure you might throw those clothes in the washing machine. Being a wife is not coming to pick up your drawers after you. That is
Amen.
Who said you had to pick up the drawers? Y'all want to go. This is my point here with that. We always act like that's such a big thing. Like,
I know,
especially for the women. Wait a minute. Especially for the women that got kids. Y'all should be cleaning the house anyway. Y'all should be cooking anyway. So you cook.
Great catch. I'm a great wife. I'm a great this. And it's like that hasn't been validated.
All these single girls are yours too. I don't know.
The one thing that I'm seeing is that when you're dealing with a grown-ass man,
yeah, it is.
He has a vision and a purpose for his life.
Thanks.
What he wants in the future. And what I see is that a lot of these modern women don't want to fall into and play their part in that purpose and in that vision because they have their own purpose and their own vision. Mm-hmm. Not sure responsibility to motivate a man.
Right.
A man should have his own motivation, his own direction. Your job is to inspire. It's a complete difference. I think a lot of ladies get a man.
What's good? What's good? Welcome back to Kandid Konvos. I'm your host, Quay Price. We got Chloe on deck. Say what's up to the people, Chloe.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. All right. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate y'all holding us down every night. Do me a favor while I'm thinking about it. Hit that like button for us. Hit that like button. Likes are free. Hit that like button. Shout out to YouTube in the building as well. Let's hit that subscribe for us if you haven't already. And also hit that like button. In addition, if you feel so inclined, hit that share. Like I said, we'd like to get this conversation out to as many of our people as possible so we can help change our trajectory as a whole. But as always, we appreciate you guys holding us down and, supporting the platform. All right, let me see what we got checking in quick. Let's see who we got. Eva Wright in the building. She said, hey, what's going on, Eva Wright? Appreciate you joining us tonight, as always, holding us down on the platform here at Kandid Konvos. See Donovan in the building. He said, good evening. What's going on, Donovan? Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you, brother. And let's say consistently holding us down every Wednesday night and Thursday, for that matter. Also, shout out to J.U. Griffin, to all of you. J.U. Griffin, man, we appreciate you, brother. You're holding us down from YouTube over there doing your thing, man. Always coming on the platform. You know what I'm saying? Dropping some fire comments, man. We appreciate you holding us down, man. Appreciate you holding us down. All right, let me do this real quick while I'm thinking about it. Oh, Eva Wright said the mister's always here too. Yeah, I know. I know Mr. Wright. I know Mr. Wright sitting over there holding us down. Shout out to Mr. Wright in the building. Oh, man, Mr. Wright. All right, so let me do this real quick while I'm thinking about it. Let's see, here's the link to join us on the panel. You can drop this in your Google Chrome, your Microsoft Edge. you're coming in through Apple device, you can you have to come in through Safari. So yeah, drop this in your browser, join us on the panel. You do have the ability to cut your camera off if you choose, but we always encourage you to keep your camera on for a better show, better engagement. Plus, like I said, it also helps on some of that typing that y'all got to do when you're dropping your comments. So I'll leave this up here for a minute. In addition, we also have this link in all of the chat feeds. So you can catch it on the Candid Konvos page on YouTube or Facebook. Let's see, we also have it at the Quay Price page on Facebook, so you can catch it there as well. So yeah, like I said, just let us know if you need the link. We can send it to you either way, but it'll be in all the chat feeds. All right, let me do this real quick. All right, hold on 1 sec, y'all. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. We gonna see. I'm gonna give it a shot. All right. I think we got JR. Is that JR checking in?
Yes, hello. Yes, it's me. Good evening, everybody.
How you doing, JR? You doing well today, man?
Yeah, I'm all good, bossy. Yeah, how are you, Chloe?
Doing well. Doing well. Chloe, yeah.
Good.
All right, cool, man. We appreciate you hopping on tonight, man. We about to get ready to get on in this. So yeah, I'm gonna drop this link for a minute. Let's say once again, let me know if y'all need the link as we get into the conversation. So let me myself together here. Okay. All right. So we're gonna get on into this. So topic for tonight. You're not ready for a relationship. Let me run that back. Topic for tonight. You are not ready for a relationship. Okay. So that's one. So we got a couple videos tonight. Let's see if Aisha hop on here. Let's see. She sent me this video. I'm gonna say that one for the curveball. That'll be video number 3. But yeah, so we got one to kick off to get into this conversation. So once again, you're not ready for a relationship.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Are you single?
Yes.
Now, why do you think that is?
I'm just too busy for a relationship right now. I don't have time for it.
Or a man hasn't wanted to commit to you?
I'm too busy.
So you've had men who are looking to take you seriously right now?
I've had some try, but I don't feed into it because I know I don't have time for it.
What makes you so occupied?
School and work.
But you don't think with the right guy you'd be able to make it work?
Not right now, because I'm not at my best. So like once I'm at my best and I feel like I'm more successful, then I'll be able to give, that to a guy.
So of the guys who have tried in the past, what was it about them that made you go, I don't have the time for this?
That's like a lot. I mean, they like lie and like cheat, guy stuff.
Cheating in what sense?
Like emotional, like anything, any attention you're giving to another girl, that's cheating. You don't have to go like a girl's picture or text another girl, whatever, things like that.
Okay, hold on. Let me start with this real quick.
Stop the cap.
Okay. So topic for tonight. You're not ready for a relationship. Okay. Forgot my man's name. I got to shout him out. I forgot his name. Hold on, y'all. Let me grab my man. I forgot my man's name. Desirable Truth. All right. So yeah, check that podcast out. He dropped some good content on YouTube and Instagram. So the Desirable Truth, definitely go check them out. Okay, so that's video number 1 for the night. So the young lady, I think she said she was 27. He was asking her some questions on the street, just see where her head was at when it came to relationships and such. What's going on, Vince?
Hello. How are y'all today?
Okay.
Doing well. How you doing, man?
Good. Just put the kids down, so I had to jump on here right quick.
It's all good. Appreciate you hopping on. Appreciate you. We need to run that back, or you seen it, man?
No, I seen it.
Okay. All right. Well, hold on 1 sec. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Aisha Mina, she said I missed the first half. We just getting started, Aisha. I got your video. You queued up, so hold tight for a little bit. We're gonna get to yours because That's my curveball for the night. So we're gonna hold that. So hold tight, Aisha. Hold tight, hold tight. All right. So yeah, the young lady says she's 27 years old. You know, my man was asking us some questions on the street. You know, I'm sure you guys have all seen the street interview videos that's out there. He's asking us some questions, you know, asking about relationships and so forth. The young lady said she ain't have time. He asked us some additional questions and all of that. So yeah, this video came my way. And I got a lot of questions. So yeah, I'm coming right out the gate tonight. I'm coming right out the gate with my questions. So my first question, I hear ladies say things like this. So this young lady, 27, right? And that's another thing that's concerning me, right? So some of this stuff that I'm seeing, you know, these folks are in their 20s saying these types of things.
Right.
I know what my 20s look like. And I'm sure Chloe and Vince, I'm sure you can vouch. Our 20s ain't look like this. But this young lady is 27 years old saying that she ain't got time. So let me just come right out the gate with this question. First question is it that she don't have time, or is she just tapping out? Because I'm starting to think, and this is just me, I'm starting to think that's an excuse. Yeah, folks always talking about they ain't got time for something. Now, she said that she got time to go to school and work and all this stuff, but then when it comes to relationships, she ain't got time. Mm-hmm. So what is that? You know what I'm saying? I see we got a lot of ladies in the comments. So ladies, drop a comment and let me know. When y'all get to talking about y'all ain't got time, explain that to me. Well, let me come back to the panel to see what y'all say. So Chloe, Vince, JR, so what does that mean when the ladies say, or when people say they ain't got time?
Right. I'll just speak from a feminine perspective, and then maybe one of you guys can shed some light from a male perspective. But from a feminine perspective, I just think that when I say I ain't got time, it means I don't want to be bothered. I have time. I got time. I got the same 24 hours that everybody else has. I got time. Right. I just don't want to be bothered. I can't be bothered to do whatever it is you're asking me to do. I can't be bothered. So I think that's what's happening. I think that unfortunately, because we're dealing with such a huge divide between men and women right now, I think people are tapping out. Like Aisha said, like they just tired. They don't want to deal with it. Because like when he asked, well, for the guys that have, or you thought maybe could be, something, she's like, oh, they lie, they cheat, so they're having these bad experiences, and it's leaving them with a bad taste in their mouth. They don't want to try it again. They don't want to do it again. And I think that's bad because these are young people, right? They still have their whole lives ahead of them. So maybe we need to get a young perspective. I know JR is, on the panel, maybe we can hear from a young person, because I'm curious, like, how do you get to that point so young? Like, how do you get to the point where you still have all of this life left? And it's like, I'm tired. I don't want to move forward. I don't want to do this anymore.
Hold that thought. Let me, I'm gonna cycle this back. A couple folks saying they didn't.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Are you single?
Yes.
Now, why do you think that is?
I'm just too busy for a relationship right now. I don't have time for it.
Or a man hasn't wanted to commit to you?
I'm too busy.
So you've had men who are looking to take you seriously right now?
I've had some try, but I don't feed into it because I know I don't have time for it.
What makes you so occupied?
School and work.
But you don't think with the right guy you'd be able to make it work?
Not right now, because I'm not at my best. So like once I'm at my best and I feel like I'm more successful, then I'll be able to give, that to a guy.
So of the guys who have tried in the past, what was it about them that made you go, I don't have the time for this?
That's like a lot. I mean, they like lie and like cheat, guy stuff.
Cheating in what sense?
Like emotional, like anything, any attention you're giving to another girl, that's cheating. You don't have to go like a girl's picture or text another girl, whatever, things like that.
All right, so that was the video right there. just to run that back real quick. Okay, so I know you. I think you was going to JR. So JR, man, we're gonna put you on the spot, man. I know you're a young brother, man. So why? What does this mean? Y'all ain't got time, or why y'all ain't got no time, man?
Yeah. So yeah, just before I answer, the question, I just want to say, regarding last week's show, I didn't mean to come up here and cause any havoc or anything like that. If that's how it kind of came across, So I just want to say, I apologize to Quay, Chloe, Vince, if that's how it came across, in last week's show. And obviously, I did want to, just want to get that out there, just so you know. So yeah.
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that, man. No, I said, I said the show, it went there. I said, so no, I appreciate you saying that. I said, I call that grown man activity. So no, I appreciate you saying that. I really do. And let's say we're gonna get back to business, man. So I appreciate you, let's say, putting that out there, man, and just owning that, and let's say taking accountability. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we did a show about it. But sometimes I said we just gotta own it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta take some accountability. You know what I'm saying? And we move forward. So let's say that's what we're gonna do, man. So no, I appreciate that, man. But what you want to say, brother?
Yeah, thank you, appreciate that. So so I was gonna say, she said that she hasn't really got the time and whatnot. So what I think a lot of people need to understand today is it's that a lot of ladies want to be in control of their lives. Does that make sense? So she does want to give up her control in that aspect, because she mentioned things such as men emotionally cheating and doing this, doing that. So they don't want to give up something that they can't control. But one thing that they will give up is the control in the bedroom, if that makes sense. So because they said that they're not getting into relationships, but hey, they're still out here though. You know what I mean? So they in the bedroom they can free it up and be free, but outside of that they want to control their lives. So that's why she can't commit to a man, because she can't control what a man does.
Okay. So now that made a lot of sense. I guess my only question to that would be is, so you mentioned control, right? So it's essentially kind of based on what you were saying, we're using this I don't have time kind of as a buffer, if you will. So it's covering up something else, right? So we're saying that the young ladies don't want to give up control. But then my question would be, then why do we see something after the years go by?
In what sense? Sorry.
No, what I mean by that is typically, so if it is a situation where the young lady doesn't want to give up control, then why do we wait years later and then we'll turn around and say, now I want a man and I want him to come in and control? So essentially, now I want a man that's a leader, and now I want him to come in and control after it's been years later, right? So referencing back to the video and what you said, the gentleman asked her, was it because any men had not committed to her?
Mm-hmm.
And basically, she kind of breezed past that, and it was she ain't got time, she too busy, and all this. But she didn't answer that question.
Okay, so you say
it just makes me wonder, is there another issue there? Versus just what she's telling us. Go ahead, man.
Yes. So you're saying that she's currently 20. She said she's at 27, so she's in control at the moment. But when she gets to like 37, then she'll kind of change the narrative, kind of thing. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, no. So that's typical. That's what we see, right? So 27, she ain't got time, and then once time has passed, then all of a sudden, now she's got time. Now she's looking for this gentleman to come along and come in and what do they say? Protect and provide and pay the bills and do this and do that. And it's just like, so did you not have time, or you? I'm just really trying to understand what's actually happening.
Yeah, nah, she's still in control of her life, but in that instance, it just makes it easy for a guy like me to come in and just fool you. You know what I mean? Because I know you're desperate now.
That
But
too.
when you was 20, when you was 27, you just had a bit more grip under control. That's why you was able to wait another 10 years.
All right. I got that. Okay. I saw you was that Joe events. I saw y'all come off mute.
That was best. You know what? I hear a lot of that from the ladies around my age too, and I think it's lazy dating. I think they don't want to put the effort in. And for the 27-year-old, I think they got the wrong handbook because a lot of times they've been told, you young, you got plenty of time, don't worry about it, don't be intentional, live your life, live your best life, and then they get to their 30s and not in a rush.
Right.
Now they understand, okay, now I want some kids, but I'm 33. And I know if I want more than 2 kids, I got to start popping out these babies. So now I got to hurry up and find a husband. And then they look back on the men that they've passed up because men, I think, are more intentional. The men that they would want. I think men who want to get married, who want to have families, they start out either it's kind of 2 scenarios. They either marry their college sweethearts per se, maybe high school, but not so much nowadays. It's usually the college sweetheart. You know, at the end of college, right after college, 24, 25, you get married, you go on down the road. Or they wait till after they in their career and kind of built their brand, built themselves up, maybe 35 and over. But then they marry a younger woman. So the 35 will go get them a 26. Or the 37 will go get them a 24. Because he still can have as many kids as he wants. So I think that a lot of ladies, they're not intentional, and they're lazy, and they think they trying to build themselves up to certain things that a man don't really want. So I think a lot of it is just lazy dating. They don't want to put in effort. Now back to the older ladies who say they don't have time. I could kind of say I had Jewel for 4 days. And when I tell you I didn't have time to do nothing else, I don't see how they do it. And I halfway work. I don't see how people have kids and work and try to date. I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. Getting up, doing breakfasts and lunches and picking them up from school and taking them here and dropping them off there and trying to get some sleep and trying to, ooh. It's a lot. It's a lot, man.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Hey, I was calling Remy like, when are you going to be back home?
Shout out to Remy. Nah, I ain't mad at that, man. Let me get some of these comments real quick. Let's see. Jocelyn Dennis. Shout out to Jocelyn Dennis in the building. She says she ain't got time. She has that right. Not everyone wants or is ready to be in a relationship. Yeah, no. So let me add some clarity. Jocelyn Dennis. She definitely has the right to do whatever she wants to do. It's her life. Yeah, what we are more speaking to is, are we being authentic or are we capping? Yeah, but that's what we're speaking to. Yeah, even based on what the young lady said, because I hear this same stuff all the time. She's talking about these guys and they lying and cheating. I'm starting to think that's an excuse. Yeah, we always talking about these guys lying and cheating. We never talking about the dudes that we interacting with. We never talking about any of that. It's always these dudes lying and cheating. And we all know that all these guys don't lie and cheat. So, man, we got to start being realistic about some of this stuff. Because at the end of the day, I think we moving around like we got a whole bunch of time. And I think people are figuring out that they don't really have a whole bunch of time. Yeah, but that's where the problem comes in. Yeah, for some reason, we've convinced ourselves to think that we just got this unlimited clock of time. And that's not how that works. Yeah, so that's really what we're touching on. But no, at the end of the day, this young lady has the right, or any young lady for that matter, has the right to do whatever they want to do, just like a man got the right to do what he wants to do. Yeah, but at the end of the day, we got to be realistic about some of this stuff. Because I said, I'm starting to learn because I'm in a lot of content. Some of this stuff is straight cap.
Stop the cap.
Let me get this from Eva Wright. Eva Wright said, let's see, maybe her avoiding being in a relationship is a part of her healing and growth process. Okay, it's possible. She did say she was working on herself, i.e. work or school. So let me ask you this. Eva Wright. Is working on yourself, are we looking at that the same as going to work and going to school? Because from my perspective, I think that's different. Yeah, when you're doing personal work on yourself or healing traumas and things like that, I don't look at that the same way as going to school or going to work, because we all know that can be snatched up from you tomorrow. Yeah, but you working on yourself and getting yourself to a better state mentally, spiritually, whatever your journey is at that time, I think those are different things. She said, focus on herself. No, I feel that. No, Allah said, I'm all, at the end of the day, I'm all for somebody in some self-development or some self-improvement. So no, I definitely have no issue with that at all. Let me get another comment right.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Vince.
I have a question for the ladies in the chat. I hear that a lot. But how can you say you want something, but you're not in the game? Now, if you say you don't want a relationship, I'm in the conversation right there. But a lot of these ladies say they want a partner, say they want a husband, but then when I ask them, well, what are you doing? Oh, I'm working on yourself. Oh, I'm working on myself. What does that mean? Oh, I'm just going home and watching Netflix at night. And then you know, something, I'm going to the gym or I'm meeting people. So I do think it's cap. I think they just want to sit to the side and hope God just going to drop something out the sky.
Exactly.
God is going to find her in her room and just drop a man is going to just drive by our house and just pull up in the driveway mysteriously.
Yeah.
How are you putting yourself in a position to get what you want? And I guess that's just my mentality. I have a logical mentality. So my thing is, if I want something, I'm going to work for it.
Right.
I'm not going to say I want to be the best provider, but I'm not doing anything to do that. So ladies, what does that mean, you working on yourself? Does that mean you just sitting somewhere twiddling your thumbs?
No, it means. Go on, Miss Chloe.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the same thing. Like I want to see. I think it's a valid question. I want to see what the ladies say, because for me, I think the reason why sometimes it comes off as disingenuous is because as people, we should be working on ourselves, right? Men have a preparation that they have to go through in order to be ready to be husbands, right? And as women, we do have preparation and focusing on things about ourselves that we need to change or upgrade or prepare ourselves physically, mentally, emotionally to be wise, right? And mothers, like, that's very, very true. But I also have to call out the fact that when she said I'm not at my best, but then she went also to talking about she's still in school, she's working. So now that's different. Like if you getting your education, that's great. That is personal development as far as your career is concerned. But what about personal development beyond that? Because there is preparation as a woman that you have to go through to be prepared to be a wife. Like that is a real thing. And I want us as women to focus as much on those preparations as we do on getting our education or as we do on getting the job that we want. Like I want us to make sure we do that too, because I don't always see the same amount of energy. I feel like we spend a lot of time as women when we're single working on education and working on building our career and things like that. We do that because we are single. We do want a life. We do want to have a good, life. And we don't know when that man's going to come, if that man's going to come. So we are doing that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But are we also taking time? Because you do have time. You got time. Are you also taking the time to work on not just your professional development, but your personal development? Because I sometimes feel like that's not happening. And so we end up getting in our 30s and 40s, late 30s and 40s. And now, okay, I'm ready to settle down. You're ready as far as time is concerned. You have a great career. You spent time, building up your financial portfolio. But you still got a lot to learn about what it's like to be in a committed relationship long term or to be a wife. Like you haven't made any progress. And then when when they get weeded out and not chosen, or they're not getting chosen, then they're wondering what's wrong. It's got to be the men. But if we're honest with ourselves, we have not spent time focusing on those other skills because we were only focusing on one area of our lives.
That's real. That's real right there. That's real. Let me slide over to Joe. Joe, you want to say something,
man? I like all of your answers. They're all like different, but they all make sense to her situation from everyone's individual perspective. I think when she's talking, like she's like using words like, I want to be at my best, I want to be more successful, I'm too busy, I don't have time. Like these are things that I typically say that I hear other men say when they're working on their careers or they're building up something so they can have the resources, the foundation, the stability so they can have a family in the future. Because typically we have families later on. And so we can provide that nest for a younger woman in her prime. But it's weird to hear her say it when she's in her prime, the things that myself and my male friends, we talk about. Like that's our goals and our aspirations. So I don't know if it's doing her much of a service that she's going down the same path that I'm going down. Like I'm saving money, I'm investing. These are things that bring me fulfillment because it's like a natural tendency for most men. They want to make money so they can build things, build a future, build a legacy. So to hear a woman say that, it's just the way she was speaking was in a very masculine, um, I am woman, hear me war type of attitude, which is fine because, you know, modern day society allows women to make that choice. But I've seen that women who make that choice at the age she's at, and they follow over into their mid 30s, late 70s, late 30s, they run into a situation where now they're, like Vince said earlier, they're trying to play catch up with their biological clock. So if they wanted a family, now they have to hurry up before things get become problematic going into their 40s. And I've seen it happen. Stillbirths, issues mentally, physically with a child, potentially, um, inability to even get pregnant. There's a lot of stress that a woman deals with when she's trying to do things at the tail end of her prime or pretty much at the tail end of her prime year. And that's a lot of women like to play that game of catch up, and most of them don't end up making it. Some of them, if they get lucky, they might have a child, maybe two, if they don't have complications. So I've seen it firsthand many, many, many times of women who thought like her at 27, 25, I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to be more successful. I'm going to focus on work, school, education, which again, that's their prerogative, but it comes at a consequence for them. For us men, we have that luxury. I got friends who are in their 50s, 60s, still having healthy children because he takes care of himself and he focused on his priorities of building a certain amount of money so he can take care of a family and provide for the woman. And typically, when they're older, we do seek younger because of that reason that we spoke about earlier. It's a biological situation, not because guys are, younger, older guys seeking out younger women. It's a, as they say, creepy thing. But worldwide, it's seen as a very natural phenomenon because that's when women are at their prime, and women also understand that when men are older, that's when they're at their prime. So she's kind of just switching it. That's unfortunate for her. She won't realize that until she is playing that catch-up game in her mid to late 30s. And I hope that she finds what she's looking for in the future. A lot of women don't, and if they do get a child, it's usually a rush job. They become single mothers. They don't have enough time to vet the man. And like JR said earlier, I'm just going to play with that person because I know that they're desperate. So they fall into that category almost by default. You don't have enough time to vet a man when you're 37 years old. Oh my God, I have a need I need a baby now. All of a sudden, happened to my sister, it happened to some aunties I've had, happened to some cousins I've had. Like, where is this coming from? I don't have that same sense that they have. So it's unfortunate for her and for a lot of women that think like.
I get that. No, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, no, like I said, I just want to understand it. Yeah, like I said, I just want to understand it because I said at the end of the day, like I said, we're seeing a lot of examples, like this folks essentially, like I said, feeling like they just got all this time. Yeah, but then before you know it, the time has came and passed, and then you look up and you like, wait a minute. Like what happened? Like I can't go back. Yep, a lot of people deal with it right now, you know what I'm saying, with these jobs and these careers. It's like they run to these schools, they get these degrees, they get this job. It's like they going after this this certain amount of money, these 6 figures and all this. And it's like, okay, so you get the degrees, you get the job, you get the 6 figures, then you look back and you like, wait a minute. Yeah, like I wish, I wish I would have looked at some things differently when I was, at this age. I said, I'm sure everybody goes through it at some point, but yeah, I think we got to get a little more intentional when it comes to this space, because I think what happens today is we think we got more time than we actually do, and 2, I feel like we got more control than we actually do. Yep, I think, folks have taken up a mindset today that they'll just do it whenever they choose to. And then they get into that situation and it doesn't work that way because you don't control the other half. You know what I'm saying? Essentially, the man, he controls access to the relationship. You don't control the other half. So you can't snap your finger and it just line up. But I think we've taken on that mentality, like the young lady said, you know what I'm saying? She was want to make herself more successful. And even that right there, okay, so successful on a financial career basis, but is it successful in a attraction to a male basis?
No, it's financial and career. Absolutely.
Right.
Almost 90% of the time.
Right. And that's it's going back to Chloe's point. Like I said, we spend so much time in the career and the money, which like I said, all of that can be snatched. But then we don't spend the time in the actual self-building and the soft skills and the nurturing skills and the wifely husbandly skills and all of these things. It's like, yeah, everybody, because I see it just like y'all see it. Everybody talking about getting to this bag. It's all this bag. I got to get this bag. It's bagging and grinding. That's all I see. Everybody bagging and grinding. And then it's like at the same time, everybody still check to check.
Yeah.
But it's like at least while we doing all that bagging and grinding, it's just like, is you really getting yourself together though?
Yeah,
like that's the thing. Are you really getting yourself together? Yeah, I know you got this bag, and yeah, I know you got this business, but it's like that doesn't secure. I don't think that secure is what we actually want overall. Yep, and that's somebody to spend that time with and enjoy with and grow old with and have that companionship. But that's typically where we lack putting in that effort in that space. So I don't know. That's just my observation. But let me go to JR and let me get some of these comments. Go ahead, JR.
Yeah, so basically what I was going to say was I think the problem that the ladies are having with, this self-development thing is that what they're struggling to realize is that what they think is self-development or self-improvement, for them, men benefit from that, but we actually don't. But like you just highlighted, if it comes as an overall package, right? So just for example, if we go back to last week, I was thinking about the show just the whole week, right? Just about what, the conversation we had and whatnot. And I think Miss Chloe mentioned something about she hasn't got a degree. But over the whole week, I sat and I thought, you know what? I'm pretty sure Quay ain't asking for Miss Chloe to be having a degree. You know what I mean? He ain't looking for that. So I'm pretty sure what he was looking for is what he got. And then she went on to then mention. She then went on. So you're benefiting from what you actually want from, herself, that actual self-development, right? For the benefit of the family. She then went to you further and say, if you then go look at her LinkedIn, etc., 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 that's where then we can say, hey, you know what? I see what you're on as an individual. But she didn't come in as an individual. She came in to be a team player. That's the first part that she came in with. But guess what? Because she came in to be a team player, there's nothing wrong with her to go and work on the things that she actually wants to achieve in life. Does that make sense? For her own personal development, whether she wants to become a nurse, lawyer, whatever it is. That's fine. But you got Miss Chloe to be your wife first. Not to be a doctor. Not to be this. Not to be that. Because I'm pretty sure if that was the case, you probably wouldn't have married Miss Chloe. You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem that we're having today, where the women's self-development isn't benefiting the men. Because we're not saying that, you shouldn't go to uni, get a degree, or you shouldn't work, or you shouldn't. But hey, I'm asking for this. If you bring that, that's a bonus.
Right.
Now they feel like that the things that they bring that is in regards to the degree, they feel like that is what men want. Like they're bringing that and saying, well, I got this education, I got this degree, I got these cars, I got this money, I got this status. And they come to us with that and they assume that we want those things. And when we reject it, they say there's something wrong with us, or they throw insults at us for rejecting the things that we as men naturally don't seek first. That's a bonus, as what you said earlier. But they don't see it as a bonus. They see it as the main event. They see it as that's the dish. We see it as dessert. They see it as the main dish. That's the backwards thinking that's going on here. And they insist that the main dish is what we want. We insist that it's not, but it's like, well, we're rejecting it, but we'll sleep with you. Because like JR said, yeah, we know how you are in the bedroom. You are that woman that we're looking for in the bedroom. Outside of the bedroom, it doesn't translate. It's off. And then so you go back to the streets you come from. We go back to doing our thing and looking for the wife who comes with the main dish that we're looking for, those qualities that where a woman understands these are the things I bring to the table: nurturing, kindness, sweetness, femininity, like not argumentative, not combative, just gentle, soft, wants to raise a family. These are things that are foreign to a lot of women that I've tried to date in the past. And it shocks me. Every time I even step out and say, let me try it again. Let me try it again. It's the same script. They think that the dessert that we see as dessert is the main dish. And they see the main dish as the dessert. It's crazy. It's backwards.
Okay. No, I hear that. I hear that. Go ahead, Vince. I saw you come off, man. You want to say something?
Then I also think that a lot of ladies think that the man that they want is easy. Like I see a lot of comments talking about, well, if a man just come past, she's not a wife. So that man is not going to even look at her that way. It said he that findeth a wife found a good thing. So you already showing attributes of a wife. So if she's already thinking I'm too busy, I don't want to get involved, then that husband who's looking for a wife is going to pass her by. So I think just because we're in this age of attention whores, men and women, all you got to have is this little waist and this big booty. That ain't nothing but sex.
Right.
It's like porn. Men like porn. We're not gonna marry. We're not gonna marry a porn star. Yeah, we make porn sites trillions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think Pinky is married. I don't think Cherokee is married.
Well, he naming names.
You know, I keep it 100.
No, I feel you. Go ahead.
I don't think they're married.
Right.
So we got to stop confusing attention for a real interest.
Right. No, that's real. That's real right there. No, that's spot on. All right, let me let me get a couple of these comments if I can, and then I'm gonna switch this up because I got a couple to get through tonight. Yeah, Aisha, if you still down there, drop a comment. Let me know you still there. So I'm working my way towards your video. Let's see. Brian Willis said, "Let me change that last statement. I do sympathize with them. Major choices have to be made earlier. The other thing is, it's sad because they usually aren't choosing, but in fact getting chose." Okay, I hear that. Right there. Let's see. Shout out to Rodney in the building. He said, "You look up like, let's see. I used to have hair. Then Mother Nature was like, not no, LOL, sporting waves." Now, everybody went through some sporting waves back in the day, Rodney. We all know. I might have a can still upstairs, low key, man. Let's see. Donovan said, "Let's see. These women run to school, invest in education, then climb the corporate ladder just to land a man and expect to stop working." Okay. Now I'm sure that's in there as well. Let's see. Rodney said the bag. Yeah, no, this infamous bag. Let's see. Donovan said, Donovan, these ladies work on themselves by way of hair and nail salons on paydays only. Donovan, don't be like that, Donovan. Don't be like that.
Donovan, you sad.
Hey, let's see. Shout out to, I think that's Tahuti Ra. Shout out joining in from YouTube. It says, "This manifest mentality, delusional along with these schools and media, has thoroughly propagandized females into a state of never being satisfied and always looking for the next best selfish deal." There's some validity there. And to be honest with you, I think that one's on both sides. Yeah, but I think men and women have been conditioned to never be satisfied. Yeah, that's part of our problem. I think that's also why we see so many divorces. Yeah, folks are never satisfied. It's like it's always, and that's why I'm not and I've said this before, but I'm not a supporter of chasing the bag. Yeah, you hear that all the time. I'm chasing the bag. I ain't chasing no bag. But see, what that means is, once again, it's never going to stop. You always gonna be chasing this bag. You're gonna be old and gray chasing this bag. So at some point, you gotta set your criteria or your number or whatever it is. Work towards that, hit that, and sit yourself down. Because we always gonna be chasing something. It's always gonna be some new car, some new amount. Right now it's 6 figures, then it'll be 10 million. It's always gonna be something. Yeah, so they always gonna have us out here chasing something. And like I said, I'm not a supporter of that chasing. I'm not getting caught up in that. Let's see.
Is that a bad thing?
What's that?
The act or the desire to chase and want more than what you may have originally wanted before.
No, so I think initially it's not a bad thing, but I think where the problem comes is when you don't know when to say no. Yeah, but what I mean by that is a lot of the stuff that we subscribe to today, we have been fed. Yep, these bags and you got to chase this bag and you got to do this and you got to do that. We've been fed this stuff. Like I said, they used to, back in the day, they used to illustrate it as the hamster wheel. There was a little hamster on that wheel and he just be running in circles. Yeah, but that's how we get pushed and conditioned today. We're just always running in circles. Yeah, one day it's a brand. It's Gucci this day. Then the next day is, who is this? Von Cleef. Then the next day is these people. We get fed a lot of this stuff. Yep, with the bag. You know what I'm saying? When cats was out here making $50,000, you was doing something. Then they pushed the number up to 100,000. Then it's gonna be 5 million. Then it's gonna be 20 million. And it puts us in a mindset of it's never enough. But see, what ends up happening is we start to bleed that mentality through our lives. Yeah, we start doing it with our kids. It's never enough. We start doing it with our finances. It's never enough. We start doing it with our vacations. It's never enough. We start doing it with our relationships. You might have you a good wife. And then the whole time you be thinking about some old chick you don't see on social media because you feel like now all of a sudden your wife ain't enough. And that stuff permeates all through our lives. Yeah, you go get your new Mercedes, a 600, and then some dude slide by it in the 800. Now all of a sudden your 600 ain't cutting it. You just got it 2 weeks ago. It's never enough. And see, we just get conditioned with that. So I'm all for somebody trying to, improve themselves or improve their situation. But we also have to be realistic around some of this stuff to not get caught up and a lot of this conditioning and this propaganda that we're fed. Yeah, that's one of the downsides of social media. Yeah, just looking at social media. I'm sure you see the same stuff I see. Everybody's house is a mansion. I'm like, wait a minute. How everybody got a mansion all of a sudden? Everybody's house is all white. The furniture white. The floors is marble white. You're like, wait a minute. People don't got laminate no more. People don't got tile no more. Like everything marble now. You know, you see people vacations. Everybody in Dubai every other week. Everybody in wherever every other week. And you're like, wait a minute. Is that really what's going on? Or are they just showing me the best moments? Yeah, so we just gotta keep perspective, you know what I'm saying, on what's going on out here. Like I said, it's very easy to get caught up. Go ahead, Vince. I saw you want to come off, man.
And then also I had a friend asked me the other day, Vince, don't you want to be a millionaire? I said, I want what my work is worth. I'm gonna chase the work. I'm gonna be the best at what I do. Now, if being the best what I do gets me to be a millionaire, then I'll accept that. But I'm not going to sacrifice time with my children. I'm not going to sacrifice time with my wife. So it's not about chasing a bag. It's about chasing your purpose. And if your purpose gets you to $1 million, then that's what you deserve. But if I got to open up this business, I got to open up that business, I got to open up this business, and I'm never at home, my kids don't see me, my wife don't see me, then it's not worth it. So I think, then that contentment is very a thing too. Like you have to be content, so I definitely agree with Quay on that. And I believe in chasing the work. If you chase the work, then it'll pay off for you.
Right. It sounds like two things you're saying at once. Like, which I get it. Which I wonder, the question I want to ask is it part social conditioning, which I would agree, but I mean, as a man, I can only speak as a man. The drive, like the testosterone, that ambition, is that also part biology? So what part is biology? What part is social conditioning? How does it blend in? Does it get hijacked? That's the confusing part, because there's also an innate drive to want more than what I have, but I'm also aware mentally that there's also that keeping up with the Joneses mentality. Like that still exists in the modern times, like you mentioned with social media. But that exists, but also my nature, which is since I was 13, I want to make money. How are we going to do it? Candy store. So that wasn't some conditioning from TV that I can recall. It was just a biological drive. So what part is biological? What part is social conditioning?
So I'll say this. Somebody who has, and I'll just classify it as natural hustle. Somebody who has natural hustle, I think even they know the difference. Yeah, right. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that like I said we're dealing with today, if we actually sit down and think about it, some of this stuff we don't even want.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah, just being honest. If we actually just sat down and thought about some of this stuff we don't even really want. Yeah, we just do. Because I said we see it, we're fed it. You know what I'm saying? We got to remember, a lot of companies, they spend a lot of money feeding us thoughts. Yeah, I've heard stories about, companies like, BMW and Mercedes making sure that they spend these millions to condition you as a little kid so that you feel like once you achieve a certain amount of money in your adult life, one of the first 3 cars that you're going to go after is going to be a BMW, a Mercedes, or an Audi. That's conditioning. See, when I was a little kid, we was thinking about Corvettes. We was thinking about Cadillacs. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking about no German cars. But see, once you go through that conditioning now, and we see it everywhere. Once somebody gets to a certain amount of money in life, you're going to see one of them 3 brands in their arsenal somewhere. It's inevitable.
It's a fact.
Yeah, and see, that's not by choice. That's conditioning. Go ahead, Vince.
And sometimes it's both of them.
See what I'm saying? You lucky my sound effects died. You see what I'm saying?
So you're saying that they hijack You're saying they hijack our natural biological proclivity to, as men specifically, to seek more, the drive, the ambition. They hijack it with, okay, let's plant this seed in their mind for if they're going to go towards something, let it be our brand, our car, our product, our service. So it's kind of like it's both, which is kind of like what Vince was saying. It's that contentment, but also that desire to want to work. So they like hijack that natural desire. It seems like.
Yeah, and it's easy to do. It's easy to do and see the power of it. I'm gonna tell you what the power is. Because I said we see it in relationships now. The power of it is we will take that conditioning and then make it normal. That's the power of it. We will take those thoughts and that conditioning we've been fed since we was little, and then we will make it normal. And then to take it a step further, then we'll be looking at somebody else sideways if they don't do it. So if they get to a certain amount of money, and you see them over there, and you like, bro, where your Mercedes at, bro?
Your Rolex.
And they might be like, well, no, I'm just about to ride this Honda. Then you're gonna be looking at them sideways, like, well, what's wrong with my man? How you gonna be a millionaire? You ain't got no. Then we'll start looking at them funny. Yeah, so the conditioning runs deep, man, and that's why I said if we don't keep a perspective on it all, it permeates through everything. It permeates onto your kids. Yeah, it permeates into your relationships. Now your significant other ain't enough, or as soon as they come home or do something, they ain't enough. I got to replace him. I got to replace her. Yeah, it run through our whole life, man. Well, let me switch this up to a second one. I got a couple I got to get through. I don't know, I might have lost Aisha, but we're gonna see. But I got another. Let me throw this up.
Real boss men, they do not desire a financial or an intellectual equal. They are not attracted to it. It is a turn off. The pee-pee goes burr, burr, burr. It does.
The pee-pee goes burr, burr, burr. Yeah, the pee-pee goes burr, burr, burr when they get around you. I mean, I think Ebony Williams, that's her next stop. Her next stop is starting up a ministry of some sort because she is going to praise the Lord. Amen. 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 Let me hear it. Women don't need no man. Women. I mean, are you getting where I'm going? Do you see how masculine that is? No, men want somebody that says, "Cuando sogno solo sogno l'ora, te manca la parole." Honey, what do you want for dinner? Can I get your drink? The children are fed in bed. That's what a man wants to come home to.
All right, shout out to that young lady. Let's say she funny for that video. So that video came my way. So let's say it's talking about Ebony K. Williams. Let's say, and I know tonight, let's say we're talking about folks being ready for a relationship, but it's talking about Ebony K. Williams, right? So she makes her rounds. I'm sure y'all done seen her before. But yeah, she was on this show with these young ladies. Melissa Ford was on there. I forgot the other ladies, but she's on this show. And she was talking about the fact that dudes go soft when it comes to a educated or financially or intellectual and financially equal woman. So she was saying these real boss men, or essentially these men of high value, aren't attracted to those type of women. So yeah, I wanted to touch this as well because for me this is a narrative. Yeah, this is a narrative. And what I mean by that is I feel like we're pushing this narrative that men are not attracted to these women who are financially after whatever you want to call it and intellectual. And I don't know how accurate that is. Yep, I don't know how accurate that is. I think it's other things in there. It's not just the fact that she's, let's just say, intelligent and you know, got her money together. I don't think that's it. So let me come to the panel. Anybody in the comments, drop a comment. Let me know what you think. So what y'all think about what she said? I said I know that there was the comedic piece at the end, but what y'all think about this? Anybody go? Chloe, I saw you come on. You want to say something?
I'm gonna let Vince have it, but I just wanted to say quickly, like I think that you know, just from a female perspective, it really is for men to answer this question. But what I kind of wanted to comment on was the fact that this is the narrative that women are pushing as a cover up. To me, I feel like they push this narrative because they need a better reason or excuse or justification on why men aren't choosing them.
Mm.
And it's a lot easier to say, or it makes men look bad if they say it's because I'm educated and they don't like that I'm so educated and they don't like that I have these degrees and they don't like that I'm making more money or I'm making good money, and it's intimidating for them. And I think that that's what it is. I think that if they can push that narrative and then get people to believe that narrative, right, then it takes the accountability off of them and what their real areas of opportunity are as women. And to me, from a female perspective, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing them use this as a justification to make men look bad for not picking them, as opposed to them owning what really is going on in the breakdown of these relationships and their part in it.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Go ahead, Vince.
I just want to say the problem is not the education and the finances. The problem is the attitude. The problem is not being feminine. Now, I know I've said this before, but I come from a line of very intelligent, financially independent women. The business that I own to this day was started by my grandmother and grandfather. Right. And it was really my grandmother, because my grandfather had a 3rd grade education from Clarksdale, Mississippi. It was my grandmother that was the one who put the business together and had the business mindset. But you know who she was first? Mother Williams. She wasn't Mrs. Williams, owner of this and 6 figures back in the 80s. She was Mother Williams, Pastor Williams's wife first.
Right.
I have somebody in my family who's very, very high up in corporation, but you know who she is? She's Mrs. her husband's last name first.
Right.
And I think that's the problem, because they come with this attitude, and these high value men already have a high power job. They don't want to come home to a disagreeable woman.
Right.
They just don't. I mean, it just is what it is. So find you a fit. But see, the problem is the guy that they want is a 50-50 guy who'll probably be good for them, who will find some value in her being intellectual and financial. But see, her finances don't matter because she don't want to spend it on him. No.
Right.
See, that's the problem. Because, just like, I think that's the lady that said that she couldn't have the bus driver. She had to have the one to own the bus, right?
Yeah, that's her.
Uh-huh. Okay. So that's the issue. The issue is not the intellect and these master's degrees. It's your attitude.
Yeah.
That's
I agree with you, man. I just I wanted to play that video because I'm seeing something else. Right. I'm seeing something else. Because so we know that there's a war going on right now between black men and black women. We going at it. Yeah, we fighting. Yeah, but at the end of the day, let's say we trying to get us back together. And one of the reasons why I wanted to touch this video is because I'm starting to see a narrative, right, being pushed, right? So I'm seeing young ladies saying that, these men essentially that's got their stuff together are not attracted to these women that's got their money together or who are intelligent, right? And that's totally false. Yeah, but woman that has her money together and that's intelligent, that's not a turnoff to a man. Now, to your point, Vince, it's more of that attitude and that presence that sometimes we see young ladies take on once they have that. It almost turns into a competition between the man and the woman. So that's where the turnoff takes place. But the other piece that I'm seeing in this that I is concerning to me is that I'm wondering if, with this narrative being pushed that these brothers don't want these type of women, does that then cause the woman who falls into this criteria to then tap out? Yep. So if we're pushing this narrative that essentially the good dudes out here don't want that type of woman, then what kind of position does that put the woman that does have her money together, you know what I'm saying, and is intelligent? What type of position does that put her in? Yep. Does that now have her thinking that because she's achieved some things that now she's undesirable to these guys? You know, and I'm talking about minus the attitude piece, right? We, you know, the attitude piece, we've already identified that that's where guys are saying the issue is. But then does she just take that and say, okay, well, I'm a intelligent woman with my money together, so these dudes ain't checking for me, so I'm just gonna tap out and say I ain't got time, you know, and take that route instead. So yeah, I'm just wondering, does this have a negative effect on the young ladies? Because you know, I've heard the saying before that, you know what I'm saying, women keep women single. So if you have a woman like a Ebony K. Williams telling you that these guys are not going to be attracted to you because you got your money together and you're intelligent, is that messing up the young lady's psyche as she goes out here into the dating space? I saw you come off, Joe. You want to say something, man?
It's like gaslighting 101, isn't it? It's they're using their supposed intelligence to as sarcasm, but they have a sweet persona in his voice, and they make it seem like, oh, they just don't like us because we are successful, and you know, we have our own careers and goals and ambitious, you know, and but you know, we don't want to hurt their pride and their ego. It's almost like they're treating us like with kid gloves, like Chloe was saying. It's a backhanded insult. It's like clear and it's obvious, but it's not very aggressive. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, yeah, we're financially successful, and you know, we have education, and these are guys who just don't want us to have education. They don't want us to be successful. It's really what they're saying, what they're not saying, which is very insulting because I prefer women who I can have a conversation with, an intelligent one. We don't have to talk about, you know, the theory of relativity, but we can talk about, you know, interesting things and conversations that only a woman of education can have a conversation with me about. So I don't want some woman from the backwoods country who doesn't know a thing about finances, because if I'm bringing money to the table, I'm making the money, I'm going to need her to have a certain level of financial um, ability in order to know how to save, how to invest, how to grow my money. So yeah, I do want a woman who's good with money. I do want a woman who's educated. What I don't want, as Vince said, is the passive aggressiveness, the attitude, the we're too good for these men that they just don't want us the way that we are because we've elevated so much. No, you've actually devolved. You're missing a fundamental key part of, like I said earlier, what makes a woman, and that's, you know, your soft, your sweetness, your femininity, your kindness, your gentle. Like you bring that to the table, you make that your priority, being that authentic yourself, that biological, which every little girl starts off with. They all start off that way. And then they kind of change around high school, college, and they become like that woman that Ebony K. Williams becomes. They become like her. They don't start off that way. They're raised to be that way. I don't know how, I don't know where, education, single parent homes, I don't know, but they become that way. They become thinking that way. So it's not a natural thought process. So for them to say these things as if that we have some sort of envy or jealousy or we have spite towards them for achieving these things, um, is dramatically false. And I think it's unfortunate that once again they don't have a man on the panel to counterbalance anything. It's just them talking amongst themselves, a chamber, and it's actually symbolic of how a lot of women speak. Like for example, in beauty salons, you know, they really believe this. So you can say, oh, that's just social media. No, this is how a lot of them actually speak. They're just speaking out loud on the public platform for us men to see, like, damn, y'all really think that low of us, that we don't want you to have, you know, everything that you want and desire in your life because you have dreams and goals and ambitions like the rest of us do. We don't think less of you, but you think less of us to the point where we think that You think that we don't want you to achieve these things because our egos would get hurt, our pride would get hit. No, most of us are kind of like, just don't attack our pride, don't attack our ego when you achieve certain things. If you so happen to make a little bit more money than me or a lot more money than me, it's the way in which you treat the man whom you make more money than. That's the issue. It's not that you're making more money, it's that the way, your attitude that comes with that bravado, that high and mighty, I'm better than you. Most men don't even treat women like that who make more money than the women. We treat them with kindness, with respect, with love, with dignity. We don't look down upon them. But typically what happens is that they look down upon a man whom they are more educated than or who they have more money than. So that's the issue. It's not the money, it's not the career, it's not the education. It's you.
Okay. No, I appreciate that right there. Go ahead, Chloe.
I wish people could get, I wish we could get out of these, get from up under these societal stereotypes, right? Because we're so deep in them that they're all in our conversations. Like they're entrenched in our conversations, right? Like it's crazy to think that you have to believe or you think that a person's education is determined by if they were able to go to a university or a college where someone told them that they were educated based off of whatever criteria or material that they crafted and chose to teach them, right? I think it's crazy that that's how we're judging men. And I think that it's crazy that as women, that's what we are valuing about ourselves. It's insane, right? It's insane that as women, we are valuing ourselves personally higher because we were able to sit through 4 years of additional indoctrination. It's crazy, right? Like, and this is not talking down on anybody's education. Please do not think that's what I'm doing. I'm talking to the mindset, right? Go you if you were able to do that, okay? Because that was not what I wanted. But some people really, they value this, right? So go you. Like, that's a huge achievement and you should absolutely be proud of yourself. But it's crazy that because of that now, as women, not all, of course, but as women, we value ourselves because of that, right? They said I'm smart, so I'm smart. And then we use that as a weapon. We weaponize it against men.
Well, education is different from intelligence. Experience is different from knowledge. And so they confuse education for intelligence and experience for knowledge.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying, but this is the rating system that they're using. This is the grading system that they're using. This is the value system that they're using. I totally agree with you. But it bleeds into now we're talking relationships. We are not talking career. We are not talking about careers right now. We're talking about relationships and degrees and formal education has entered the conversation. This is how far gone we are. And I think, I don't know who said it earlier. I don't know if it was you, Claire. If it was you, it might have been you, Joe. Like this was not criteria for how our parents chose who they were going to start a life with.
No.
It wasn't even a part of the conversation because why would it need to be?
We're not marrying your degrees. We're not marrying your money. We're not marrying your accolades or your status. We're marrying who you are.
Those are not the skills. Those are not the skills that are going to help us raise these kids, and teach them how to live. Right? Like it's not. And those are not the skills that are going to keep us married and committed to each other and happily, successfully married years and years and years. It's insane. So I just wanted to point that out because I'm sitting here listening to the conversation and I'm like, not that anybody on this panel, I'm not directing that. I'm just simply saying it's crazy that in 2024 we are having a conversations about relationships, and our value system, especially for a lot of women, is based on the education system.
No, that's real. That's real. That's real.
Well,
Go ahead, Vincent. I'm gonna switch this up. Go ahead.
Well, that's the thing that our society that said that will save you from the black man. I'm just gonna say it. Girl, get your education so if he leaves, you'll be able to take care of yourself. That's why stay-at-home moms are not as valued as working women. First thing they ask me, when you going back to work? I know she ain't never going back to work. You ain't going back to work. You don't want to work.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Girl, what
gonna
if
raise
you
these
leave
kids
you?
and be a wife and be a helpmate to my husband, which is really the best job she ever had. Girl, you gon', but then these the same chicks that got 2 or 3 baby daddies they tied to.
Well, then, you might leave. Let me see. What do they say? They be mad. You might leave.
Mm-hmm.
You might cheat. Mm-hmm. And let's not forget, you could die.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like it's crazy. I mean, I'm in circles too because I homeschool and I'm at home with the kids, and I'm in circles too where I see women literally fighting each other about this particular topic, and women are angry. Like, women are angry to see other women who have decided to trust their husbands. They are angry. I mean, these are women, they get vicious in these comment sections. They call you irresponsible. They say, how dare you? And they are really mean because women have chosen to say, well, I just want a different kind of life. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with work. Like, you're good. Like, if your career is good, do what makes you feel happy and fulfilled. Yet this is just what I do. It's just what I wanted. And women are angry. They're upset. And I want to know where that comes from. Like, I really want to know, what is that about? Right? Because if y'all want to go to school and y'all want to be in school and you want to be career women and you want to climb listen, baby, I'm a root for you. Okay. I'm a root for you. Okay. But why can't you keep that same energy when I say, well, I want to put my kids out of the system. Like, I really saw what it was doing to them, and I want to be the one to teach them. I should be the one raising them anyway. Like, this is what I feel is important for me to do at this point in my career. What's the problem? I'm not telling you I'm not telling you to do it. Like, I'm not forcing your hand. Like, do what you feel you need to do. Like, it's crazy. Why are we so angry? This is why I say, like, it's insane that we even got to bring up education when we're talking about relationships. But this is where we are. Why are you so angry? Like, women, why are you so angry?
Miss Chloe, can I just go with something that you said, right? Because I was thinking it, and I was kind of thinking, like, should I say it or should I not say it? You said something. You mentioned the word mean, right? And this is the problem. A lot of these ladies out here, their spirits is nasty out here. Very nasty, right? And it's no fault of their own, because I don't personally believe women are bad people. But unfortunately, the pseudo power that women have today in the Western world makes them nasty people to want to be around. And what is also, happen, and it's made it easier, for men. It's given men a way out. Women's attitudes, the way they just conduct themselves, the things that they're asking for, whatnot, has given men the way out. And hey, there's one thing that men like, right? sex, it's easier for the men that can get sex. If you know what I mean. So, for the men to then have to rise and have to be men, there's no reason for men to have to do that, because like I think somebody mentioned about for the rich women that got money, yeah, the guy that wants to do 50-50, that's probably the guy that's gonna probably match up with you. But hey, as a guy, if I gotta pay 50-50, I'm winning. If I can get sex on top of that, hey, bring that over here. Well, I'm not complaining. Does that make sense? So this is what I'm saying, Mr. Price, yeah? I'll ask you this question again, yeah? And I asked you this last week, right? Between both sets of genders, right? Who needs to come back on side for things to work?
I'm not changing, JR. I know you asked me that question. I'm not changing, man. Go ahead. I see Vince want to say something too. Go ahead, Vince.
I think it's the women, because they're the ones. You know why I'm gonna say this. This is the only reason why I say this, because men who had their stuff together, they don't have no problem getting any woman that they want. So they're not the ones that's really complaining. No. It's the women that can't get what they want when they think they got it going on. A man who got it going on, he has a plethora of all women. He's not complaining about a woman not submitting. He's not complaining about a woman not cooking and cleaning. He get what he want because he got the skills to pay the bills.
And let's remember,
so it's the ladies that are the ones that are doing all the complaining. You don't hear no high value men talking about this piss in the swimming pool. And high value is not just about the money. I'm just talking about men that's got it together.
Right.
It's the ladies that are saying, "Oh, I'm fine. I don't have no kids. I'm educated. I'm submissive, but I can't attract the man that I want. I keep attracting the men that I don't want." So I believe it's the women that's going to have to come back, and they're going to have to give the men that they want what they say they want. They got to stop giving them what they think they want. They don't want your education. They don't want your boss chick behavior. They want feminine, cooperative women. And if you're not ready to do that, then go find you a bus driver and be happy.
Yeah, no, I feel what you're saying, Vince. And just to respond back to JR, yeah, I'm gonna stand on my point, JR. And this is my thing. In this particular point that we're talking about right here, right? The reason why I say the guys have to set the tone, so essentially the guys have to make the change to start this thing down the road of correction, is because I feel like we still playing in it. Yep, and what I mean by that is, you made a point earlier, JR, where you talked about this sex. See, the dudes still want to dabble in this sex with these young ladies that they would not commit to. Yeah, they know that this young lady is, she's one of the ladies that we were talking about earlier. She's educated, she got her money together, but she's taking on this bravado, and she wants to compete with the man. I'm gonna mute you for a sec, Vince. She want to compete with the man and do all these things, right? So you already know that this is the type of woman that you would not commit to and marry and have a family with, but yet you will still lay down and sleep with this woman. Muddy in the waters, keeping it blurry, leading her on, the whole nine. Just so you can get your, as people say, get your rocks off. And that's why I say in this particular instance right here, men have to set the tone. See, we got to stop doing that. Yeah, but we're telling these young ladies that, hey, we're looking for wives, we're looking for somebody to commit to and have a family with, so we can create our legacies and grow and build and do all these things. We can't be playing in the sex. Yeah, but see, that's where the challenge comes in. The fellas want to play in the sex, and that's why I said they ain't setting the tone and handling their biz and moving as men. They want to play in the sex. But then once this lady, engages on the sex and all this, then you want to bail out because you already knew you didn't want to commit to her in the first place. She just was letting you blow her back out. We're gonna be graphic with it. So that's why I say dudes have to set the tone and dudes have to move accordingly. Because see, if dudes did that, I'm gonna be honest with you, it would force a change. If it will force a change, that's just like somebody, you over here thirsty, and somebody got a bottle of water. At some point, you're gonna have to make some changes if you want to quench your thirst. It's really that simple. So if dudes set the tone and change their ways and move accordingly and move in their purpose like they're supposed to, a lot of this stuff wouldn't even be able to exist. That's just my opinion.
No, and the thing that you said, you've said you hit the nail on the head there, right? And I think I think we just need to distinguish the people that we're talking about, right? The guys that I think that you're talking about are the guys that Vincent mentioned, the guys that aren't complaining. The guys that are complaining are the guys who I think people would say, quote unquote, don't get no play, etc., are the ones that would ideally do the right things. So the guys that are getting a lot of these girls pregnant, right? It's a subset of men. It's not majority of the guys that out here that are impregnating a lot of the ladies. A lot of guys, like I said, especially my age, don't have kids, right? I'm 28. I've got about, let's say, 15 guys around me. Only 2 of them have kids, 2 baby mums. The rest of us don't have kids. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're looking at them and it's like, whoa, how did you get to that? And then when you hear the story, it's like, damn, you knew that, what you was doing was wrong, but even they still knew that he had a girl and they're still going ahead with it. If you know what I mean? So like I said, it's a small minority of guys that are causing this mess. A lot of the guys, as we see what's going on, there's always the opposite, right? If a lot of guys aren't having sex, what's the opposite? Corn, OF, etc. If a lot of these people aren't making, if a lot of guys aren't making money, aren't watching corn or paying for OF, then that means a lot of guys are probably, getting their rocks off out there. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. A lot of guys are actually intentionally trying to do the right things. But the problem is that the people that these ladies are talking about is a select few of guys that are causing this mess.
I feel that.
Hasn't always been that way.
Does that make sense? But on the majority, more women have kids than men. More women have probably more baby daddies than men. You know what I mean? So a lot of guys are doing the right things. Now, I ain't saying that guys aren't doing wrongs, but it's a subset of men, small minority of men that are doing this big mess that these ladies are complaining about.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, man. That piece, I understand exactly what you're saying. So no, you're right about that. Let's see. Eva Wright said, "Do y'all want bottled Dasani water or spring alkaline water? Lead with the main head, not the other." Yeah, no, Go ahead, Chloe. You want to say?
No, I mean, I agree.
Got one more. Go ahead.
I agree with JR. Like I agree with JR in the instance of that. We know that it is the minority group of men that are the ones who are having all the babies with multiple women, right? We know that to be true. But just because you aren't impregnating the women doesn't mean you're not sleeping with them.
No, and that's what I said. And that's what I said, yeah. For the older guys that are saying like, hey, men need to be men, we're saying like, okay. Miss Chloe, if I say to ladies, right, hey ladies, close your legs, what does that actually mean? I'm trying to lead the situation, right? I'm trying to take charge of the situation, as in like, hey, close your legs. I'm telling her what to do. I'm not even trying to, approach her or no, close your legs. By default, that means if she closes her legs, I can't have sex with her. There's nobody getting pregnant. There ain't no STDs, XYZ. Okay, next step is we need to get married before we have kids, right? Now, I can try and lead in all these departments. If she ain't willing, Miss Price, there ain't nothing I can do.
That's true, but I mean, we have to. But there's two sides to that, right?
Yeah,
Like we're all adults here. We're all adults here.
mm-hmm.
We all have to have self-control, right? See, it has to start with us. See, we always want to look external. For women, I'm not excluding the women. Women always want to look at the man first and go, well, he needs to stop doing this and he needs to stop doing that. Women are good for telling y'all what y'all need to not do, right? But men, you guys, and I'm not speaking at directing this at the men on the panel, but men in general, y'all can point them fingers sometimes too and say, well, women need to stop doing this. It's like, I'm sure that we both can point out something that the other is doing that we shouldn't be doing. Okay, so we know that. We know that. If we sit aside the bickering for a minute, just sit it to the side for just a moment, we can acknowledge that we have this self-control that women have to have, and there's some self-control that the men have to have, right? Like, it shouldn't take for women to stop saying yes for y'all to develop self-control.
Fair.
You should be able to have some self-control as a man. You should be able to say whether she closes her legs or not. She should close her legs, absolutely, 1,000%. But whether that woman closes her legs or not, as a man, I have self-control. I have discipline. And I'm not doing it, right? So, I mean, we both have to have self-control. It's not going to do us any good if we keep pointing at each other and going, you need to stop. Well, you stop first. Oh, no, you stop first. It's like, it's not going to do us any good. We're just going to keep doing this. It's like, we got to have self-control, right? Like, stop entertaining these silly women. Like, just stop entertaining them. Like, and when I say entertain, I mean, don't entertain them. Don't give them time. Don't give them attention. Don't feed them with anything. I mean, this is what, Quay is saying. Like, as men, you guys do tend to have a stronger resolve in certain areas. And we're saying, channel that. Just like Joe was saying, y'all can be so hyper-focused on what you want out of life and getting yourself together and building financially. And you guys can be so focused. And we're saying, why can't that bleed into your physical? Right? Yeah. Like, why can't we have that bleed into the physical where men are saying, no, I'm going to be just as disciplined about this as I am about my finances. I'm going to be just as disciplined with this as I am about how I structure my life. Like that's what we're saying, right? Not saying that women don't need to also be having self-control. That's not even what we're saying. But we're saying, as men, why is it that when we start to have that conversation about, as men, where's the discipline? Like, where's the control? Do we have to say, well, women need to close their legs? Yeah, we know that. Women do need to close their legs. But why are you waiting for her to close her legs when you can have self-discipline today?
You know what, Chloe? I agree with what you say, but the issue that I have and what I understand what JR is saying is that if you listen to these ladies, what they really want is not the average man. And I'm not just talking about income. I'm talking about discipline. I'm talking about leadership. I'm talking about masculinity. Those men are not out here having a bunch of babies. Those type of men,
but they still having sex, Vince.
But this is what I'm saying, though. This is what I'm saying. The type of women these men really want are not these random guys that are having a bunch of sex with a bunch of women. Just like, they're very honest. A lot of these men don't have to lie. They can tell you, I'm married, and you get with it if you want to. But they're so valued that some of these women will deal with it. So this is what I'm saying. You'll see a highly educated woman that'll have a baby by an ex-drug dealer.
That's
or
crazy.
A bum guy.
Just like that.
You don't see a college-educated professor with a stripper baby mama. They might have an ex-wife, but they not just go out here because they understand their value.
But they still don't slept with that stripper, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But sleeping together is not a relationship, though. But sleeping together is not a relationship, Chloe. People sleep with people all the time without a relationship. So what I'm saying is that the men that these women want don't have no problem. That's all I'm saying. These are not average guys. They don't want the average guy. They want the 6-figure, 666 leadership, education. These men don't have no. They can go out here and say, "Look, you gonna get on my program or not? Yes or no?" They don't have to sit up here and lie and, "Yeah, baby, I'm a." Those are men that they don't want. Them liars. Mm-hmm. Those are men that they don't want. So we gonna throw them away. We're not talking about them. Mm-hmm. So I understand what JR is saying is that the women, they're the ones that's suffering. The men that got together are not suffering. They going out here and get black women, Latina women, any other woman, submissive black women. They don't have no problem. I got me one. No problem. Corey got him one, no problem. We ain't sit up and talk about, oh, it's piss in the swimming pool. And no. We paid the cost to be the boss and we get what we want. So yes, those women have to come to the table and give the men what they say they're asking for.
That's it.
No, that's real. That's real right there. Let me switch this up. Let me switch this up. I got one more I got to throw up. Shout out to Aisha. I don't know if Aisha's still on here, but yeah, she sent me one. So let me switch this up because I know we're about to get ready to wrap up. So let me switch this title just for this video right here. This video is wild. So topic on this video: men don't know what they want. Man, that's wild. Let me run that back. Topic number 2: men don't know what they want. Okay. Yeah, so shout out to Aisha for this video. So this is a wild one right here.
I'm about to log off.
You good? I gotta let it ride. It's the curveball video right here, but I gotta go ahead and do it because once again, there's some discussion in this video as well. So she goes on a little rant, but we're gonna go and let her rant.
I have a real life question. Fellas, if y'all don't like women to wear makeup and weave, why do you keep approaching women who are wearing makeup and weave? I don't get that. I will clearly see a woman in person sometimes, and she'll have on makeup, lashes, lipstick, braids down to her back, or you can see the lace on her lace wig, and you still go and approach her because you like what you see, and then turn around and be like, I don't like women who wear makeup. Why do you keep approaching them then? Sometimes y'all will clearly see the motherfucking filters on the pictures. It be saying chow and be having hearts and shit. You know what a filter look like. She be wearing weave in the pictures. She be wearing makeup in the pictures. Why would you hop in her inbox and then feel like she owes you to show her her natural state? If you have a preference for women who don't wear weave, makeup, or any type of beauty enhancement, why do you keep approaching them? It's not our fault. That's your fault. Y'all want to talk about some choose better then. And they all gather around and be like, we need to take these women swimming. You need to take yourself swimming in a fucking bathtub. And be careful what the fuck you ask for, because some of y'all get in that water, y'all gonna have black fucking spray melting down y'all face. We know that ain't your real lining. It be all in y'all beards and every fucking thing. Be fucking for real. Talking about some catfishing, y'all be hatfishing. Yeah, we could possibly be bald-headed under our wigs, but y'all be bald-headed as hell under them hats too. Got a whole sunroof, be looking like George Jefferson, lining, receding and all. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it as fucking lining. Like, what the fuck? Talking about we hiding our skin under our makeup. Y'all be hiding y'all motherfucking razor bumps under them beards. Y'all be contouring y'all face with them beards. Have a whole full face all the way up to your eyeball with hair. If y'all want us to take our makeup off, so that you can see if you still gonna be attracted to us, shave your beard bald. That's exactly how y'all sound. Like, I'm not gonna approach you and feel like, I don't like men that look ugly when they don't got a beard. It's either I'm gonna fuck with you or I'm not gonna fuck with you. Y'all be shallow as fuck. Y'all always trying to say that women approach y'all and try to change y'all. You know what I'm saying? And be like, y'all can't change us and stuff like that. That's why I don't approach men who be sagging or be wearing them extra tight ass pants with them big beefy ass shoes and them little medium ass crop tops they be wearing. If I don't like the way you dress, I'm not gonna date you and then try to tell you how the fuck to dress. If I don't like them nappy, crunchy ass dreads that be hanging in y'all motherfucking face that y'all cannot afford to keep kept and shit like that, and it be stinking, I'm not finna talk to you and tell you, I want to see you shave your hair and get a fade because I don't really like niggas with dreads. Like, stop trying to go to a woman and act like you trying to make an exception for her. But this is the icing on the cake right here. However you want to put it, if you don't like glamorized or high maintenance women, that's cool. But don't degrade them. Here's the thing. If you just mad that you cannot afford them or get next to them, some of y'all are actually mad at the fact that you feel like they're conceited and y'all trying to humble them because you're mad because you don't want to be rejected. You don't feel good enough to actually get the type of woman that you're attracted to. Now, if you doing that, that's a form of jealousy and envy. And you got to really look in the mirror as a man if you hating on a woman. You know, some of y'all be projecting y'all insecurities onto women, and that's not healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it's fake or real, stop hating. If it look good, it look good. Some of the shit be looking crazy. Some women be looking like clowns. Some be looking like chromosomes with their BBLs. Like, it is what it is, but some of them look good, and you know which ones I'm talking about. It's some women out here that look gorgeous with their makeup, gorgeous with their weave. Cool. You know, a lot of men like to call women crazy, but I kid you not, I really think it's a mental illness to be offended by how somebody else looks. Like, it's a sense of entitlement or something, like somebody owes y'all something. If you feel some type of way about what someone does to make them feel good, maybe it's because you don't feel good about yourself.
Ooh.
Put me in, coach.
Ooh.
Put me in, coach.
All right, go ahead, Chloe. What you want to say? Shout out to Aisha for this video. This is a wild one right here. Go ahead, Chloe.
Did she really? Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. Just let me just rock with me for just a second. Okay.
Go ahead.
I was trying to listen to her, but her edges was really loud, so I couldn't. I was distracted because her edges was loud. They was pasted to her forehead, but and her eyebrows did not match the color of her wig. But you know, here she is talking about somebody having some razor bumps under a beard. Can y'all correct me if I'm wrong? But how you gonna have razor bumps under a beard? You ain't shaving, obviously. So how you got razor bumps under a beard?
Yeah, I don't know.
How you have? Is that possible? Can you have razor bumps under a beard?
I mean, I guess you can have an ingrown or something.
She didn't say ingrown.
I know.
Did she compare y'all having some fibers in your head to her to them contouring their entire face?
Yeah, I think she's talking about the Beijing. I think that's what she said.
It was a lot of reaching. It was a lot of reaching going on. It was a lot of reaching going on. But the part that I really want to talk about is, as women, we know that we have access and have had for years. We have access to basically enough resources and products to make a whole costume for ourselves and then go out into the world every day wearing this costume. From weave to lashes to eyebrows to contour makeup to BBLs. We don't even have to get a BBL. We can put on a girdle. We can put on some butt pants. We can put on a push-up bra. I mean, we could literally look like a completely different person if we wanted to. So what we're not going to do is be disingenuous and talk about a man spraying some fibers in his hair so his lineup can be extra crispy. Or a man saying, you know what, these grays, I don't really want to rock these grays. So let me get this little rinse up in here so I can, be extra dark for a couple of weeks. We're not about to do that. We're not about to do that. This is not tit for tat. We're not about to do that. As women, we know we have a costume that we can put on at any given time to make ourselves feel good about ourselves. Like she said, what we need to be doing is examining the mindset. Why do you need all that to feel good about yourself? All you got to do is let people talk and they reveal themselves. Why do you need to put all of that on to feel good about yourselves? Is that why men are complaining? Because you can't even come outside without all of that on. You have to have that. So this is what I meant when I said earlier, there's work that has to be done. And the work that has to be done don't have anything to do with your education, and it doesn't have anything to do with your career. The work that has to be done has to start in here and in here. You got to get your mind right. Why do you need that in order to be able to function as a person? Why can't he see you in your natural state? Why would he not want to know what he's getting? Why would he not want to? Why would a man want to meet your representative every day for the rest of his life? It's insane. And then for you to get mad about it and say, well, just say you can't afford it. Half of y'all can't afford it either. Y'all walking around with them wigs on and they just look as tattered. They look like you haven't ran a brush through that hair in weeks.
Well, Chloe, real quick, she made a point that I actually agree with. She was talking about the men who pursue those women who are supposedly not their type, who then later on in a relationship try to change them to be the type that they were looking for in the first place. I agree with her on that. That's wrong. Because if they're approaching that woman, she's going to make the assumption he likes what he sees, and this is how I'm going to show up. But he starts dating this woman, and he starts trying to change her little by little to make her to be someone that she wasn't when he first met her. I agree with her.
I mean, I agree with that too, but I guess I can also look at it from this particular perspective, right? Like, you also can get to know a person and really develop an appreciation for that person's personality or their attitude. It could be something else about that person. It doesn't have to just be how they look. And then once you get to know a person, you know, I mean, like, I guess it goes back to my point of saying, does he want to be with her representative forever for the rest of his life? I mean, it's one thing, I think, for me as a woman, even me as a woman, I put on makeup when I want to. And listen, I'll get some extensions when I want to. I'll get braids when I want to, but that's not me every day, all day, 365 days in a year. At some point, that man may want to meet her, not her representative. At some point, that man may want to be able to see that she can just be herself without all of that and be comfortable. You know, like, it's not that he's saying she can't ever do it, but like, shouldn't she be able to not put the wig on and still be good? Like, shouldn't she be able to not wear the makeup and still be good? Like, shouldn't she? I mean, isn't that, shouldn't it? I guess that's, as a man, do y'all care about that? Like, do y'all care if you meet a woman that way? Does it matter to you that she has to be that all the time? Or are you at some point going to want to see her in her natural states?
I don't think it matters what I want to see. If I approach her, the assumption is that this is who she's going to be from here on out. Now, if I go into a relationship with her and dating her, and I'm expecting to see more of her natural self, then I should have went to a woman who was already expressing that in the beginning, and it wasn't her. So now she's confused because, wait, you liked me the way you met me. So naturally, wouldn't it make sense for me to continue looking like the way you met me? Because that's what drew you to me. So now she's confused. You want to see something other than what you saw initially. So I still stand on her on that because a lot of men will pursue a woman who have all these things that they don't like. Oh, I don't like BBLs, but you messing with. I don't like women with all that makeup, all that weave, but you talking to them. So we can choose who we want, but we kind of deceive ourselves. We don't really like it. We'll tolerate it, and then maybe we'll change her down the road. Now she's confused, so she's still right about it.
Nah, Joe, she ain't confused for nothing.
Go ahead, JR. Go ahead.
She ain't confused. They understand, yeah, when you need to change, but when it comes to them to change, yeah, they understand none. Yeah, hear this. When I got with my girl, yeah, cool, you're single, I'm single. There's gonna be things that you're gonna do as a single person and things that I'm gonna do, right? Cool. So when we get together, there's gonna be certain things that I'm not going to tolerate when we're together. So I said to her like, hey, listen, all that holiday stuff or whatnot, yeah, them holiday pictures and whatnot. Hey, listen, you can go on holiday, you can walk around the beach and whatnot. Cool. But I'd rather you kind of cover up as best as possible. It is what it is. You're on holiday, you're gonna wear what you're gonna wear, right? I ain't expect to be wearing a tracksuit on the beach. But guess one thing, what you're not gonna do? You're now not gonna come on Instagram and be posting up bikini pictures. It ain't gonna happen. Oh,
But
but
if she was
why?
already
What do you
doing
mean?
that, why would you expect
Say
her to
again.
change that? If she was
Say
already
again.
doing that when you met her, why would you ever
Yeah.
expect a woman to get on your program? It's like you went after the woman who was posting
Listen,
those
listen,
Instagram photos. That don't
listen,
make no
listen,
sense.
big man. Listen, big man. When I was single, yeah, before I met her, I was sleeping with this one, that one, that one, that one. When I approached her, she ain't got to tell me to stop sleeping with all them ladies because I understand. Okay, I understand that. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. This is the problem that we are having. Okay, men are willing, women aren't willing. So whether I make you like that or not, yeah, there's certain things that I'm not going to tolerate. How about that? It's simple.
But why
And
not
this
get
is
with a
where
woman who already is that way, as opposed to
no,
trying
no,
to change her to be something that she wasn't
no.
before?
I understand the extremes, right? Where it's like, oh, yo, if she's like a hoe, you know that she's done this, that, but that's a big risk or whatnot. But what I'm saying is, yeah, there's certain things, yeah, that she's going to ask of you, yeah, that she wants you to be willing to do. So guess what? There's going to be things that you was doing that I don't want you to be doing anymore. Like I said, before I approached her, I was sleeping with that one, that one, that one, that one. Now that we are, on our journey, we, dating, whatever it is, and then we get together, she ain't got to tell me that I need to stop sleeping with whoever it is or who was in the picture. It's my job to make sure that whatever actions I do is not going to affect this. So I understand right and wrong. And guess what? So do women.
Well, you're talking about
They
infidelity
understand what
compared
is right
to
and wrong.
the change of someone's appearance. Well, we're talking
Say again,
about,
sorry.
obviously, you're talking about the difference between infidelity and the change of someone's appearance. I'm talking about
No,
someone's appearance. Obviously, you're not, if you're dating one person, the implied situation is where we're together. Neither party is going to want to go outside of that if they love each other.
no.
That just makes sense. But we're talking
I
about who they are, their personality,
yeah.
their character,
She
how they
yeah,
look. Why would you expect that to change going into that, knowing that that's what you went after in the first? That's the argument she's making. And that's
Well,
what I
well,
agree.
well
I
can I jump in?
understand it. Go
Go
on,
ahead,
boss. Go on,
Vince.
boss.
Let me get
Go on,
Vince in
boss.
on this. Go ahead, Vince. Get
I'm
on
gonna
in there.
jump into it as a married guy. When you marry, you do. Um, there are things you have to change about yourself. And say he met her out one night, and it was a glam type of going out, and she had a full face on. And then he liked her, but it was a glam up type of event, so everybody had makeup on. But then he met her again, and she had a full face on. But maybe he liked her now. Maybe they went out a couple of times. They talked. He said, you know what? I think you'll be more attractive if you just wear a little bit less makeup. Or just like with me and my wife, when we met, I was dyeing my beard. I
Mm.
maybe have been going through a midlife crisis or whatever you say. But she said, you know what, babe, you don't have to dye your beard no more. I like you, with the salt and pepper. And I stopped dyeing my beard because she liked it.
But if she try to
So
change
I
that,
think it's more so, the things that you do to please your mate. And depends on who it is. Maybe if she was the type of guy, he was the type of guy that she wanted, then she would change.
Yeah, no,
People
that's
but
real.
change. And
ultimately
people.
you
I
made
mean,
that choice.
it's something that you put on. It's not changing who you are. It's changing what you look like. Makeup is changing. It's not. You're not saying, "Oh, I want you to be funny," and you're not funny. It's just saying, I would like you to wear less makeup, or why don't you wear your real hair? I like your real hair. Maybe no one has ever told her that. And maybe no one has ever wanted to see her in a natural state. But he's attracted to her, and he's like, baby, you ain't got to do all that. You're beautiful. Yeah, it could be something like that. It might not be, I want you to change, but like, baby, you're beautiful. You don't need to wear all that for me. I want to get to dinner on time. It take you a half hour to put all that on. You ain't got to do all that for me.
No, that's real right there. That's real. No, that makes sense. And I think just to respond to that, Joe, there is a natural, and I'm not going to even call it a change. Yeah, when you get into, especially when you're in the mindset of a relationship, or especially if you commit to somebody, you go through a stage of, I like to call it enhancement. So you start to enhance yourself. So you'll see folks, you know what I'm saying, paying more attention to their body. You'll see, you know, like Vince said, he may stop, you know, dyeing his beard that he was dyeing because his lady like it, you know, and so forth. So it's more of an enhancement. You know what I'm saying? You know, dudes may start to move differently now that they've committed to a woman. So, you know, to JR's point, they can't be out here wilding and doing some of the stuff they was doing prior to making their commitment. So it's more of an enhancement. But I want to circle back to the video because there was actually, I'm gonna take some other angles out of that video, right? So the first thing that I want to point out is I wonder, do the ladies do they understand what they're asking for? So based on what the young lady was saying, so she was saying that dudes say that they don't like all this, you know, weave and makeup and BBLs and all this stuff, but yet they'll still holler at these females, right? Now, mind you, there is different levels of attention, because I think we confuse that sometimes. There's different levels of attention, right? And there's also certain intentions behind the tension, right? So I think we sometimes lose sight of that. But I asked the question, do the women understand what they're asking for? Because at the end of the day, if the young lady is saying that if you don't like it, don't even come talk to me, don't slide my DMs or whatever. And my question to that is ladies, what will y'all be left with at that point? And not even being funny, right? But we're in a situation now where a lot of dudes have been pushed out of the ranking, right? So we got guys that's short, they don't qualify. We got guys who don't make six figures, they don't qualify. You know, we got guys who other women don't want, they don't qualify. So we got all of these criteria of why a man does not qualify for the ladies today, right? Because they talk about they don't want these average men and all this stuff. So now if we're now going to add a guy who doesn't like a BBL and a weave and whatever, then my question to the ladies is what are you left with in the pool of men? Yeah, based on the stuff that I see out here, y'all done wiped out a large percentage of the guys. Just based on stuff they can't even control. His package ain't a certain size. Y'all done wiped him out. So if y'all done wiped out all of this high percentage of guys, of all these men that's out here, now we about to wipe out this percentage of guys who are not fans of BBLs and weave and makeup and all this stuff. Now that's another percentage. What are we left with? So this is why I say I wonder, do the ladies understand what they're asking for? Yep, I wonder, do they understand what they're asking for? And then the other thing I wanted to add to this is men and women, we got to sit down and we got to start talking to each other. Yeah, what I see is a lot of assumptions. Yep, I don't hear guys saying that they don't like a girl that's got a weave, or they don't like a girl that's put on some makeup. I don't hear guys saying that. Now I do hear guys saying that they don't like the women that overdo it. So the ladies who never wear their natural hair, the ladies who put this makeup on and their whole complexion change. You know, the ladies who walk around, I think Vince has brought this up before with these surgeries, and it's just crazy. Like I hear dudes saying that they don't like that, but I'm like, I don't hear dudes saying that he got a problem with it, or the woman putting some braids in her hair. There may be some weave wrapped up in those braids. Like I don't hear guys saying that, you know what I'm saying, the lady who puts on a little light application of makeup just to smooth herself out when we step out to Roof Chris. I don't see dudes talking about that. Yeah, I see them talking about the extremes. Yeah, I see him talking about the weird shapes after the surgeries. I see him talking about never wearing your natural hair. I see guys complaining about those things. So that's why I said I think even in these situations, we got a lot of disconnect. And that's why I think men and women got to start talking together about this stuff versus just making assumptions. Yeah, we just saw it in the earlier video. Ebony K. Williams talking about dudes, they ain't attracted to women that's intelligent and got their money together. That's a lie. Yeah, we're not attracted to the attitude that sometimes comes with that. But see, this stuff gets spread around, and because it's on social media, it becomes word. And then people buy into it, they absorb it, and then it becomes normal. Yeah, but now you got this issue going on. So that's why I think we really got to sit down. We got to sit down and talk. Go ahead, JR.
Quick. Yeah. Obviously, when Miss Chloe's goes up in the bathroom, she's doing a facial, procedure, whatnot. She gets into bed, she turns over facing the other way. Yeah. You about to tuck in yourself now. You look over, right? And you just see that natural face, right? That's the person that you want to see. Does that make sense? When you look at your missus, yeah, when you look at your wife sleeping next to you, just look at her face, yeah, that beautiful natural face, right? It just gives you that, you get shivers through your body, like, you know what I mean, as men, you just, that's my lady, come on, guys, you know what I'm talking about. You get that little tingle through your body, like, damn, she beautiful. Just that natural look. Does that make sense? Now, I understand different women are going to be of different levels, right, in looks. But for you, for what is your level, damn, she's beautiful. That's it. You know what I mean? So, if you go look at a job application, there's certain parts of the job application that says preference. Now, it's a preference for you to wear makeup or not. Yeah, some days she might not. It is what it is. We're not saying please don't wear makeup. What we're saying is, don't be drawing on a whole different face here and you're looking at a different person. And in nighttime, I get a different person. No. Because I don't get to do that. Does that make sense? I don't just get to just switch up every day. So why do you get to just think that you can come and just hang up your hair, every single day? I can't come and hang up my chest. Does that make sense?
Oh my God!
I can't come home and just put up my chest, just hang it behind the door. Come on,
take off your muscles.
What are you talking about?
Man, you ain't say hang up your chest, did you, man? Hold on, man. JR, if you come up on this panel, man, and hang up your chest, it's over, man. Come on, man.
Come on, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How ridiculous does that sound, bro? Come on, Quay.
They get to put on a chest.
All we're saying is we want to appreciate women that we love. That's what we're saying. Women, is that really hard to ask for? If you actually look, between the lines, we want to actually appreciate your real beauty. But somehow it's a bad thing that we're asking for. Somehow.
Okay. No, you're right about that, man. Let me hold on, give me 1 sec, Joe. Let me ask this question. I know we got some ladies down in the comments. Just a question to the ladies. Ladies, why don't y'all want to work with the fellas on this one? Yeah, but if the fellas are saying, because I said I see it all the time. I'm in the content. If the fellas are saying this is what they looking for, why don't y'all want to work with the fellas when it comes to what these fellas are looking for? Because I said I hear the ladies saying that they looking for relationships. They looking for relationships. They looking for these good dudes and all that. Okay, cool. So if the good dudes are saying, I like this, or let me make it realistic. If the good dudes are saying I like chicken, shrimp, and steak, then why are you trying to give them pork chops? Like, come on.
Because I like pork chops.
Somebody help me.
I like pork chops, so you need to like what I like.
Wow. Is this what we doing? Is this what we doing? Is this what we doing?
You can't make this shit up.
I mean, I always hear women say that they do it for themselves. They don't do it for y'all.
No, I don't believe that though. I don't believe that. I think these ladies are. Nah, I don't believe that. I think these ladies are doing this stuff for the attention of some of these guys. Now, don't get me wrong, there may be some medical stuff that happened and this and that, right? So I know there's always outliers or extremes. But I think these ladies are doing this to get this male attention. The reason why I say that is typically, or back in the day, there was a body type that existed in the gentlemen's clubs. And I'm sure all the fellas can attest. Yeah, it was this certain type of stomach, these butts, hips, whatever you want to talk about it, chest, all that. So now if we look at what we see today, it's replicating what used to exist in a lot of gentlemen clubs back in the day. So you can't tell me that you replicating that or doing that for yourself, but it's not for any attention from the guys. Like I don't believe that. I don't believe that. So I don't know. That's just me. I don't believe that.
Because when I go to strip clubs, that's exactly what that's exactly what these women, they look like the women you would find in the strip clubs today, just in the daytime. It's like, champagne? Oh, no. Your name is Diamond. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's replicating the old body type. And that's why I said
So it is for us.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to the fact that ladies are only doing this for themselves. Like I don't believe it. I don't believe
That's
it.
like us saying, I just got myself a fast car because I want to impress the fellas. I just go to the gym just to work out for myself. Fuck that. You work out because, and I know why I work out, because the motivation is if you work out, you got a body and you look decent, you see the results of women and how they react to it. And so it does inspire you to work out more. It's not just for your health. It's not just so you can impress the fellas. It's not just so you can have discipline. No, there's a biological motivation behind it. It's just that a lot of women have an issue with admitting that they dress themselves up, they go out, they go through all this song and dance so they can go out and attract a certain man. Now, you might not be the man they're looking for, but they are looking for a man. But you might not be that one. But then you're asking, well, how are you doing this? Well, it's for my girlfriends. It's for my, so full of shit. We all do it. We're all just sexual creatures. We all want something out of what we're doing. I'm not going to spend all that time in the gym to walk around in front of a bunch of dudes to show off. No. Or even for myself. It's because I see a tangible benefit of looking a certain way, and so do that. I will admit it. A lot of guys won't admit it. I got this fast car because I just like cars. Yeah, you spent $100,000 on a Porsche. You pay all this taxes, all this insurance, just so you can drive around and because you like it. That might be the case to some extent, but also deep down, it's because there's a certain type of woman you want to attract. There's a certain look you're looking for, and that's okay to admit. Stop all this proselytizing. Oh, I just do it for myself. I just do it for other reasons other than the obvious. Bullshit.
No, we know better than that. Go on, let me let you go, Chloe. I saw you come off.
Well, I just wanted to kind of piggyback on something that Michael said in his comment. Our Black women are painfully insecure. Like, I can agree with that. I think that, and she kind of pointed it out. She said it being something that makes them happy, right? Like, but we have to. Let's examine that though. Why is it that makes you happy? Like why is it that you need it? That's the thing, right? It's different. You wanting to put on some makeup, you want to get dolled up, you want to get, like she said, glammed up. Like it's nothing wrong wanting to do that sometime. Like I think that as women, we enjoy glamming up. But I think it's when it becomes a situation where your man, someone who cares about you, is asking you, can you tone it down? And you're like, no, right? This is when you cross over from this just being something that you enjoy doing to being something more than that. When the man that cares about you or loves you says, you know what, I wouldn't mind seeing you, without that. I like the way you look. And you still can't let it go. There's something there, right? We're not talking about this. What's driving you? Why can't you wear less makeup or none at all at times? Why can't you stop wearing wigs every single day? Why can't you? What is it? Like there's something there, and it's more than just, I like it. Like if it was just I like it, like I like to do a lot of things. I can't do them every day.
Chloe, is
So
it
let's just
possible?
be honest. There's something else there, and that's the biggest issue. Like, we need to get to the root cause. Like, why can't you? And I think there is insecurity there. I think a lot of women have bought into the European standard of beauty that we have been force fed, and that conventional idea of what's beautiful. And I think now it's got us in a chokehold, and we don't want to let it go. And it's weird because for Black women, we're in this weird space of we still want to fit the conventional beauty standard, but at the same time, like, this video vixen stripper girl look is in, so we like that too. And so we're in this weird spot, right, where we look like we're in drag, and we look like ants at the same time. You know, like, from here to here is all drag, big wigs and heavy makeup, and then from like the waist down, it's like bug life.
Yeah.
Do you think that
That's wild.
insecurity comes from the woman having a fear of the reaction from the man that they're attracted to or that they love? And so what initially attracted a man, perhaps, well, he's asking me to change this about myself, but maybe he doesn't know that he might not be attracted to me anymore if I change this thing about me. It would be like a man having $100,000 a year career, but he's been, got fired, and now he's concerned about, well, I'm only gonna make half of what I make. Will she still love me? Will she still accept me? Maybe I'll just keep going along to go along.
I mean, like I said, that could be looped up in there as well. But I mean, for that guy who lost that money, it's like that's a good barometer to know that she wasn't with you, and for the right reasons anyway. So that's actually good, because that'll go ahead and weed out some folks real quick. So I ain't even mad at that. But yeah, I think the other thing is we have to understand, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, we have to understand the difference when it comes to attention. Yep, I think sometimes when people get attention, that they confuse it with being intentional. And that's not the same. If a dude may look at something or he may lust at something, but that's not something that he's going to commit to. It's not something that he's going to make any type of long-term plans, commitment, anything of that nature. But he may look. I mean, just because you can get looks doesn't always mean that it's good. Yeah, but I think we suffer from that right now. Yeah, like I said, we see this type of stuff all over social media. It's running rampant. Every other day, it's some half-naked picture. It's some this, it's some that. But it's like, that's just going to get you attention. That's not going to get you into a successful relationship. A lot of times, it ain't going to get you married. It's not going to get you committed to by anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have dudes questioning if they're going to take you serious or not. So we really got to understand what we are attracting or what we are prioritizing is what we want. Yep, and what it shouldn't be is we shouldn't just want attention. Yeah, we should want somebody to have some intention or be intentional about you. Yep, and taking you serious and valuing you for you. Yep, that should be the priority or the most important piece. Yep, not just getting the attention. If somebody can get attention, but can they keep it? Yep, and that's the difference. So yeah, I wasn't gonna drag, as I said, I know we got to get ready to get up out of here. Let me do some closing, then we're gonna get on out of here. Let me go to JR. I'm gonna go to Joe, Chloe, Vince. I see C-Lay on here. Oh, we just lost Vince. I see C-Lay on here, but you ain't hadn't said nothing. So let me go to JR, then we'll go to Joe. JR, you want to say anything before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, I want to say, thanks for having me back on. It was great chopping up with the panel once again. Great show, So yeah, that's it, man. Thank you very much. And
I appreciate that, JR. Appreciate that
as well.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on tonight, man, and rocking with us, man. Most definitely. Let me go up to Joe. Joe, you want anything to say before we get out of here, man?
Yeah, I think maybe the point of this stream is men and women don't know what they.
Okay.
That's basically about it. And I still agree with a lot of what she said. She wasn't wrong about a lot. You know, I don't like you to have BBLs and you with a girl with a BBL. All this makeup, but you dating a girl who wears all that makeup. Same thing with women. I don't like a man who I want a man who treats me right, but you with a thug. You know, I want a man who's gonna do this, who's gonna have 6 figures, but you dating the bomb. So nobody
That's
knows
true.
what they want. So like you said, we have to be and women, that's what they have to seek. They confuse it. They think that our attention is he's going to be committed. No, we go to the strip club for attention, to give attention, because we enjoy watching, and women like to see, like to be observed, and then we go away. We're not committed to them at all. We pay them X amount of dollars and they go away, and then we go to the women that we are intentional with. So we give certain women attention, certain women intentions, but ideally a woman would want both attention and intention. If she's not getting that, then that's where we go to the strip clubs for the attention, and we go to our wives for the intentional. It's kind of like that's how that works. But anyways, interesting stream. I'm learning something new every week.
There it is. There it is. Appreciate that, Joe. Appreciate that, man. Chloe, you want to say anything before we get out of here?
No, I mean, this was a good show. We talked about a lot of different things. I think that, these conversations are good because you get both perspectives. You get the male perspective, you get the female perspective. So I think it was a good conversation. I think that, for me though, just note to the fellas, y'all gonna get up off our necks out here and y'all gonna start taking some accountability. And otherwise, I just don't see this thing moving forward. Like I get it. I understand what, JR is saying. I understand your perspective. I'm not even saying that you're wrong. I'm simply saying that I do believe that we do need our men to kind of step back in their positions of leadership in our community and lead the charge. And I'm always going to think that because I'm a woman who, submits to male authority. So I'm always going to think that the men need to step back into their roles in our community, not just in relationships, but in our community, and step back into those leadership roles to lead us in the right direction. So that's where I land.
I'm gonna have a response for that for the next show. All right. Yeah. Leave it. I'll have it for next show. Next show. Yeah. Next show.
All right. Yeah. Hold that thought, JR. Hold that thought.
Yeah.
All right. I'll say this real quick. So first of all, shout out to the panel. Shout out to Chloe, Joe. C-Lay was on for a minute. He didn't say anything. C-Lay was on for a minute. Shout out to JR. Shout out to Vince holding down the panel. Appreciate you guys rocking with me tonight. I'll just say this real quick. This is going back to video number 1. Yeah, we don't have all this time that we think. Yeah, so we got to really start being intentional with our time, our attention, and just what we really need to be doing out here. Yeah, like I said, we got to prioritize the things that are going to sustain us for the long term and move us in the right direction, especially when it comes to relationships. Yeah, we definitely have to start prioritizing relationships. To Joe's point, a lot of folks don't know what they want. They don't know what they want from day to day. And like I said, we touched on some of that conditioning and all that stuff that's going on out here that affects that in us determining what we want, and better yet, what we need. That's a big one. Yeah, we talk a lot about what we want, but how often do we actually talk about what we need? Yeah, so we really got to think about those things. Like I said, if we want to move us forward, which I know we can get there. But like I said, I think it's going to take more conversation between men and women, not just one-sided. Then we got to come to some collective agreement and move forward from there. So simple as that. So, man, shout out to everybody down in the comments. Appreciate you guys. There's a lot of y'all. I can't run all the names down, but shout out to y'all in the comments. Like I said, this is Kandid Konvos. We do this show every Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. We go live on YouTube and Facebook, so definitely like, share, and subscribe. Next time you come join us, do me a favor, bring a friend with you. Yeah, bring a friend with you. Hit that share button as well. We want to get this content out to as many of our people as possible so that we can change or affect change in our mindsets and move us in a better direction. But man, with that being said, everybody have an awesome night, and we will catch you guys next Wednesday.